المصطفى رسول الإمام بنور الصفا.
Wonderful Thursday indeed. You're listening to Urban Woman with me, Razia Rangrage. Join us live now on Facebook and YouTube as well as we chat about something very important. Today is World Kidney Day, and it helps to actually bring the awareness through. So it is observed on the second Thursday of March, aiming to raise awareness about the importance of kidney health and to reduce the impact of kidney diseases worldwide. Now, chronic kidney disease is a significant global health concern, and in 2016, it actually affected approximately 753 million people globally, with 417 million females and 336 million males impacted. To shed more light on this, we welcome to our screens and also our airwaves Dr. Afzal Adam Khan, who's a consultant nephrologist to Fresenius Care International Medical Dialysis Unit in Durban, KZN. Assalamu alaikum, Doctor, and welcome to Radio Al-Ansar. Assalamu alaikum, Doctor. Can you hear me?
One second. There we go.
Okay.
Sorry, Razia, can you hear me now?
Let's try that again.
Can you hear me now, Razia?
That's the beauty
Can
of
you hear me?
technology. We love it, isn't it? We love it. Assalamu alaikum.
Hi, Razia, welcome. Can
Yes,
you
I
hear
can
me,
hear
Razia?
you. Loud and clear, Doctor. Welcome to Radio
Oh.
Al-Ansar and Urban Woman. How are you doing this morning?
Oh, not too bad. Thanks very much. I
Alhamdulillah.
see you've given us 10, 15 minutes for the program.
Correct.
Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Okay. So we are
Okay.
live at the moment. People, our listeners can actually hop onto Facebook and YouTube and watch us live. And actually, if they have any questions, they can drop in the questions. We're going to jump straight into it, Doctor. What are the primary functions of the kidneys in the human body?
Sorry, Razia, you're going off again?
Okay. I'm asking, what are the primary functions of the kidneys in our bodies?
Okay,
If you could
right.
share
Yeah.
with us.
Okay. Basically, there are five main functions. The first function is to excrete the products of metabolism, body metabolism, primarily protein metabolism. That's one function. The second function is to control the amount of salt and water in the body and thereby control blood pressure. The third function is to control the amount of acid in the body. The fourth function is to produce a hormone called erythropoietin to stimulate the bone marrow to make blood. And the fifth function is to activate vitamin D, which is involved in the bone metabolism, immune function, and things like that. So there are five main, what I call, pillars of function. There are other minor functions, but those are the five main, and they are very important functions. Five huge functions that the kidney performs.
Right. Okay, so now you think that, sadly, I'm hearing a lot of people actually suffering with their kidneys. What are some of the common risk factors associating with developing chronic kidney disease?
Well, if you look globally, if you look at the global figures, approximately 10 to 11, 12% of people globally have some form of what we call CKD, chronic kidney disease.
Right.
That's a large number. Now, the risk factors. So who would you want to screen? Who would you want to screen? Now there are five, 6 groups of people: diabetics, blood pressure patients who have obesity, patients who've had a previous what we call cardiovascular event, like a stroke or a heart attack.
Right.
Then the other category is the elderly patient, and patients living with HIV. So those are the the major big groups that you want to check their kidney function. You follow? Because they are at high risk of getting some form of CKD. So
Okay.
you can't screen everyone. It's not cost effective. Like in South Africa, 60 million, you can't screen everyone. You have to pick and
Absolutely.
choose who you want to screen. And the
Mhm.
groups I gave you, those really must be screened.
Okay.
And perhaps not
Understandable.
just once, but maybe once a year or once every 2 years. So
Absolutely.
there are some basic tests you can do. There are blood and urine tests, and sometimes scanning. Will pick up most cases of CKD.
So, what about those individuals, doctor, that actually would like to reduce the risk of developing kidney diseases through lifestyle choices? What advice do you have for them?
Avoid becoming diabetic, hypertensive, or obese. So it means maintaining a healthy, what we call body mass index. That's the weight body
Yes.
mass index, a healthy diet, and regular exercise. Just healthy living. Just as you would advise a cardiac, a heart patient,
Yes.
a
Of course.
healthy lifestyle, and to maintain an ideal, what we call ideal body mass index, or weight for height. So that's body mass index.
That seems to be the solution for all our problems, physical problems, diseases, and those kind of health issues. Share with us some of the early signs and symptoms of kidney disease that individuals can actually be aware of.
This is the problem with CKD. There aren't any. Now,
Okay.
CKD, it's classified stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where 5 is end stage. It's end stage kidney disease, where the patient requires dialysis. Stage 1, 2, and 3A is early. Now, stage 1 to 3A, often the patients have nothing. They don't know. They just haven't a clue that something is wrong. This is the problem. That is why
Absolutely.
there is so much of underdiagnosis. It's underdiagnosis. Now, that is why you have to screen people at high risk to pick up stage 1, 2, 3A, because they're not going to tell you they're feeling unwell, because they're not feeling unwell.
Right.
So as I was telling you, the groups of people that you have to look for it: diabetic, hypertensive, obese, previous cardiovascular event, HIV, elderly. Those patients you have to look for it, because they're not going to tell you they got it, because they don't know. You follow? They don't know. So you have to look for it. It's only in the later stages of CKD, stage 3B, 4, 5, the patient will feel unwell. And again, when I say unwell, it can be fairly non-specific. Weight loss, nausea, tiredness, bone pain, shortness of breath, vaguish type of symptoms.
Yes. And who would link it to the
So,
kidneys?
oh, sorry, Raz, you cut out again. You've cut out again. I can hear you now. Say that again.
Interesting. Who would link that to the kidneys, those symptoms? But interesting and concerning to see that there's no actual sign and symptoms. So, you're talking about the people with hypertension and diabetes. So, share with us how management of these conditions can actually influence kidney health then.
Adequate control of the diabetic and hypertensive state goes a long way into protecting the kidney. Razia, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, Doc.
Yeah. So the aim is to control the diabetic state and the hypertensive state, and simple obesity has to be controlled. So if you can control that, then the risk of getting CKD is lessened. If you have uncontrolled diabetic state or hypertensive state or obesity, that's a high risk for getting some form of CKD. So whatever the insult is to the kidney, that has to be controlled. Diabetic, hypertensive, obesity, or anything else that is affecting, like excessive pain tablets, or repeated pyelonephritis, or certain other toxic drugs. You have to limit that. You have to control it. So in the same way, the diabetic state, the patient's weight and blood pressure has to be controlled. So the insult to the kidney is not there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that information. I think many people will realize that lifestyle is so important, especially in Ramadan. I think we kind of tend to indulge a little bit more, but I think consciousness of what we're putting into our body, because obviously whatever we eat is going to be supporting our organs, our vital organs. What is your take-home message for our listeners this morning, Doctor?
The take-home message is that the World Kidney Day is to emphasize that CKD, chronic kidney disease, is much commoner than people think, and that you often don't know you have it, and there are certain high-risk groups that need to be screened. Simple as that. It's commoner than you think, you don't know you got it, and there are certain high-risk groups that have to be screened. Diabetic, hypertensive, obesity, previous stroke, heart attack, or elderly. Those groups must be screened. You can't screen everyone. You can't screen 60 million people in South Africa. It's not cost effective. You have to pick and choose. So the take-home message, there's a high risk of groups. If you're in that group, you must be screened. And bear in mind that CKD is stage 1 to 5. Early on, you don't know you got it. This is the problem. You don't know.
Thank you so much for that. Absolutely. We thank you for your time this morning. That's where we're going to wrap up. We do wish you a blessed Ramadan going forward. Thank you for sharing very vital information. Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, it's a pleasure, Razia. Take care.
And that was Dr. Afzal Adam Khan, consultant nephrologist, sharing with us some very important information today being World Kidney Day. I know many people are suffering with their kidneys. So do take the necessary precautions. I think we take lifestyle very easy and we take it for granted because we think we're all good. And until we hit some major health issues, that's when we actually want to make the changes and implement the strategies that we should all along. So Ramadan being here, let's make that change, inshallah. Let's take care of our bodies. It's an amana. And let's go for a quick break. I'll be back with you in a bit. Stay tuned to Urban Woman.